Well, hello, Southwest Iowa Pilgrims. My name is Ray, if you haven't met me yet. And what I'm going to do in this video, hopefully it'll be very brief and pretty shallow, is I'm going to talk to you about our trip, our pilgrimage to Israel in March. So it's going to be some nitty-gritties as well as some big stuff. The nitty-gritties would be what to pack, what to bring, some of the questions you have. So we had a meeting with Yair, who is the kind of the coordinator of all the tours, and so he gave us a lot of information, and I want to sort of process that and give it back to you in more of a neat package. So anyway, that's that's the plan here, is to talk about our trip. So on Tuesday, March 12th, we pilgrims from all over Southwest Iowa are going to just meet at our gate, whatever the gate assigned that day is, at the Omaha airport is. So you're on your own to check in at the main thing and get through security, and then you'll get to your gate. And I hope you know how to do all that. I hope that you carpool together and rely on each other from the beginning. And if you don't know how to do that, I can walk you through it. But basically, the best place to park, by the way, at Omaha, just to take it from the beginning, is in the far south parking lot. You can even search online and find a coupon that'll get you like $1 off per day, which makes a big difference. So anyway, the south parking lot, they'll shuttle you up. You tell them you want United Airlines, they'll kick you out at the right place. You go in with your passport and check in at the little kiosk. And if you have United Airlines frequent flyer miles, you can tell the people at the United ticket agents that you would like to have this trip added to your frequent flyer miles. So you should be able to check in with your passport. We are supposed to get an email as time gets a little closer that gives us our little check-in code. So just be patient and wait for that to come. That will come. But otherwise, you should be able to sort of scan that at the kiosk and get a boarding pass. Then you go on through security. And one of the main things about security is be ready to take off your shoes and be ready to take off your belt and kind of show them the stuff, you know, be ready to sort of cooperate with them to get you through. And the main thing to keep in mind there is that there are restrictions about liquids. So you should be able to, right out of your bag, have, and this is the TSA's rule, all of your liquids and gels and creams in a quart size zipper bag. And each one of them should be 100 milliliters or smaller. So that's 3.4 fluid ounces, so 100 milliliters. So anyway, take those out and put those on the roller, and then put your bags on there and take off, you know, your watch and all the stuff and your shoes and go through the thing yourself. And they should check you out. No big deal. Should be just fine if you cooperate and don't act too weird. So anyway, once you get in there, then we'll just meet at our gate, which should be announced up there. Our flight is United Airlines 3605, departing at 12:20 p.m. to Newark, New Jersey, at 12:20 p.m. So just watch for that when you get there. So we will meet at our gate, and we will kind of gather and get to know each other and start our trip, our pilgrimage together. Other issues of the trip itself. So we'll fly from Omaha to Newark, and then there will be a bit of a layover. And then we'll take our second flight from Newark all the way to Tel Aviv. So just one layover, just one little break in between there. And the way it basically works is you get on the plane at Newark, they might serve you a snack, and then you basically go to bed, go to sleep, and wake up in Tel Aviv on the next day. I guess it'd be Wednesday afternoon. So you kind of lose a little bit of time. I believe it's 8 hours ahead of Iowa time to Tel Aviv. So that's something to keep in mind. When we get there, we will meet our tour guide. His name is Daniel, and he will meet us at Ben Gurion Airport, and he will have our sign, and he will take us. The first thing, I believe, we will transport directly from the airport to our hotel in Nazareth. And you got an email that showed all of our hotel information and flight information too. So that's just kind of there. So once we're there, then we can set up shop, set up home base at Nazareth, and stay there probably whatever it is, 3 or 4 nights. And then we will switch and transfer down to Jerusalem, and we'll stay there for the remainder of the trip, another 4 nights or whatever it is, 5 nights, and stay from there. So that's the big scheme of things. And then on the way back, we will get up early in the morning on Thursday the 21st. I guess. And we will transport to the airport again, and it's an early flight, so it's going to be kind of a red eye, and then we'll fly just reverse back to Newark and then back to Omaha, and we'll probably all be very tired but very satisfied and very spiritually fulfilled. Okay, so that's the big things. That's the that's the kind of the overview. Excuse me. So the details, some of the questions you might have that are about the trip itself. So let's talk about packing. When we go to pack, my driving force is the word simplicity. Simplicity. That is, don't take anything unless you really think you're going to need it. Okay? Don't pack more stuff than you need. Try to keep it simple, because Israel is a very modern country. In fact, in some ways, it has more things than we do, even here in rural Iowa. So it's a very modern country. If you need something, we should be able to get it with no problem. And so don't worry about that. But take the basics, take the essentials, but try to keep it simple. Try to pack light, simplicity. And that fits with my bigger idea, is that this is a pilgrimage and not a tour. We're going on a spiritual pilgrimage. So we are going to see and not to be seen. We are going to experience something amazing, a once-in-a-lifetime kind of thing, and not to go there and make a fashion statement or to look like $1 million every day. That's not the point. So we are going to go on with a purpose in mind. So that means I don't care if your hair is not perfect or if you wear the same clothes for a few days in a row, no problem. Okay, packing. So United Airlines and most of the airlines allow you to have a carry-on bag. Mine, I got a new one this year to replace my old one that fell apart, is 45 linear inches. That's 22 inches high, 14 inches wide, and 9 inches deep. And that's pretty much standard across all the ways. And I like mine to be a backpack. So this one you can carry it as a backpack, and also has a carrying thing and a shoulder strap too, so that you can carry it like a regular bag too. So I like this, and I like mine that it's soft side, although there are some you can buy that have a stiff spine and also a little pop-up things with rollers. You can do that too, and also backpack. I prefer mine just to be backpack, but that's just me and my stage and age in life. So the carry-on is very, very important. The second thing you're allowed to have is a personal item, and that is that it is 10 inches wide, 17 inches tall, and 9 inches deep. Basically a backpack. A school backpack, and the main requirement is that it needs to be able to fit under the seat in front of you, like where your feet would go. So as long as it's that size, you should be good to do that. And the other thing is that I carry when I travel abroad is I take another thing, and that is this little messenger bag. That's the thing, the other third item that I carry. And no one asks me about that because it never leaves my body. It's just kind of a part of me. The other option for that is to have a fanny pack. And I carried one of those for a number of trips, but it kind of fell apart too. So I like the messenger bag because it's crossbody. It's not going to get stolen from me. And I keep all my important things right here in it next to me. And also, when we get there, this is kind of my outing bag. So I can put my, passport and important things in there, my room key, those kinds of things right there, and carry them with me all day long. And speaking of passport, it's important to keep that with you all times. You can lose everything else, all your luggage and everything, but don't lose this. That would be very bad. Some people do prefer to have one of these kind of passport wallets, this thing. It's the same idea. You can put it around you and carry it with you, kind of tucked away so that it's with you all the time and that no one will steal it. So that's a possibility. That's up to you to do that too. So my challenge for you is this. United Airlines does allow you one free checked piece of luggage, so a big bag. So you could have a big bag, it's free, up to 50 pounds and 62 linear inches combined between height, width, and depth, okay? So you can have that, plus your carry-on, plus your personal item, and a kind of a sneak-along fanny pack or something like that. So they do allow you that, but here's my challenge. Can you get everything you need in just this with no checked baggage? That's my challenge. And the answer is probably surprising. So the longest trip we ever took abroad was 16 days to the United Kingdom. So we spent quite a few days on the ground. More than we're going to be, by the way, which is only 8 days on the ground, 10 days traveling. And this is what I took with 16 days worth of stuff. A carry-on, a backpack, and my fanny pack at that time. And so it all works. There are secrets, there are tricks, but the benefit of having that is that you will never have your luggage lost because it's with you all the time. You have your check-in or your carry-on up above you, you have your thing on the floor, you have your eyes on it almost all the time. So you will never lose your luggage because it's with you all the time. The other thing is that it helps you to travel light with that simplicity in mind. So this is my challenge to you. Can you do it? And I'm going to show you some tricks on how to make that happen. First of all, think light. Think travel light. So when you go to put things together, think about wearing the same pair of pants for several days in a row. Maybe for the whole 10-day trip, you just take 3 pairs of pants. Okay? And even then, think very thin and lightweight, not jeans or heavy-duty stuff. It's going to be warm in Israel. Sometimes it gets up in March, it gets up into the 70s and sometimes the 80s even pretty easily. And it's pretty dry, so there's no need for an umbrella. So, and by the way, most of the dress codes for the places we go are interested in modesty. So no sleeveless things, shirts, no spaghetti strap or even tank tops. Those are kind of immodest in most people's opinion, so short sleeves are okay. You probably might want to take one light jacket, but that's about it in case there's a cool evening or something, but that's not super important, so don't take a parka. And also they say no shorts, okay? So Yair did say Bermudas are allowed, and I wonder if he means like a kind of a, well, you know what I mean, that goes over the knee. You know what they're called. Anyway, so the kind of capri pants. I think that's what he meant, was capri pants are acceptable. But otherwise, pants are preferred for most places. Although I also think I'm going to take a pair of shorts along too, just because we won't always be going to holy shrines that need modesty. So anyway, but a way you can do that is, so not only take the very bare minimum things, you can also take stuff that you don't plan on bringing back. So pack some really, of your worst underwear, pack it up, and leave it there. Throw it away when you're done with it. That way you have room for souvenirs to bring home too. But my strategy involves zipper bags. You can either do a 1 gallon or bigger, like a 1.5 or even a 2 gallon zipper bag. So for instance, the best way is to roll everything. This is a kind of an innocent looking pair of boxer shorts. So fold them and roll, make them really tight and small. And then I put that in there in this bag. And here's a t-shirt, same thing, rolled, put that in there, and a very light, small pair of socks. I'm not going to take giant hunting socks or anything like that. And I'm going to put this in the bag, and you can actually buy bags that do kind of do this very thing, or you can just do this. Squeeze the air out of that. Squeeze the air out of it. And then you have a tight package, and you slide it into your bag. And you can get a lot of stuff in your carry-on and your personal item by just squeezing the air out, okay? You can do it. I challenge you. Now, of course, some people have like equipment like CPAP or things like that that have to go along. That's fine. Check your luggage. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just challenging you to think light. Okay, down to the nitty-gritties of other things that, so when I travel, I like to have some over-the-counter medicine. And that includes Dramamine, ibuprofen, Benadryl type of allergy pills, and I might throw in some melatonin, which is kind of a sleep hormone that helps you to get on schedule if you're jet lagged. So those are kind of the basic big ones. You could take some other, but just put them in a small package like a snack-sized bag. Now, as far as prescription medicine goes, you basically can take whatever you need. And there's not a clear answer about whether it needs to be in the original with the bottle or whatever. You might want to write down the dosage and everything in case somebody is curious, or if there's ever a medical need on that side when we get to Israel. So just bring it along like normal. Make sure you have plenty to go so you don't run out of stuff. That's important too. So take those things along with you. When I'm traveling, I also like to take ear plugs, because the plane can be noisy with people talking and stuff, and so just plug in earplugs so that you won't have to deal with the noise. So a lot of stuff, a lot of questions about phones. So I'm a Verizon subscriber, and for $10 a day, I can take my plan, which is unlimited data and text and talk. I can transfer that to Israel. So for about $80 a total, I can have my phone go with me. And you can check with your carrier and see if that's a possibility, if your phone will work over there and they can turn it on and do that. So that's up to you, especially if you feel like you have somebody you want to call. Now for emergencies, our tour guide will have a phone and he will be able to hook us up and call, and so emergencies is not an issue. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to do that. I think that that's unnecessary because there is Wi-Fi everywhere. There's Wi-Fi at our hotel. There's even Wi-Fi on our tour bus. So we can be checking our email using a like Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp or whatever your particular thing is. You can use that to keep track of people, keep in touch with people back home. In fact, we use Facebook Messenger for video chatting a lot. So my advice would be to not do that. However, phones are very important. So don't take any books. I guess you could take a little tiny Bible if you wanted to, like the little Gideon New Testament type thing. You could take that if you want to, but keep in mind those are heavy. So put all of those apps on your phone. And if you don't have a smartphone, well, then maybe you have a tablet or something that you can put some apps on there, some Bible apps, and like a Google Translate offline kind of a thing. What else might you want on there? Like a prayer app or some kind of a thing like that. So try to get it as much, because this doesn't weigh hardly anything. So phone is important as far as that goes. Now this leads me to my next issue, which is about taking pictures. So I personally have 3 basic camera options. I have a really nice big Nikon, kind of semi-professional camera. It's very heavy, very large, bulky, but it takes great pictures. The other thing that I have is this point and shoot, this very simple little Fujifilm camera that's pretty cheap, like $50 sort of range. It takes pretty good cameras. It's very small and like that too. The other option is my phone. My phone takes pretty decent pictures, and then it'll back them up to my Google Photos app and all that too. So for this trip, this is kind of a question of an existential question for you. Are you there to take pictures and capture everything? And maybe that is your quest. Maybe that's your issue, your motivator, is to take really great pictures of the shrines and the sites and the people. Or if you're more like me, my goal is to go and experience this thing. This is an experience, so I don't necessarily want to have to capture everything. So I'm going to take my phone, obviously, and probably just take this cheap point-and-shoot camera so that I can capture some of the big ones and some of the personal moments that we have there on our trip. So that's kind of my issue with all of that too. Related to phone is, so on Tuesday morning, March 12th, I will charge up my phone real good so that it will be ready to go, because it will need to make it through the entire day and the flights all the way to by the time we get to Nazareth, to our hotel. So most phones, I don't know, it seems like battery life is poor on most smartphones. So I have this little gadget, which is a battery pack, and I'm going to charge it up. It has probably about 1.5 phone charges worth, so I just got this at Walmart. But this is a very nice thing to have as a charger pack. So another thing related to gadgets is make sure you take your charger cords, because you'll want to charge up your phone or your devices, whatever you happen to take, like a tablet. I wouldn't take a laptop, by the way. There's no need for that. Tablets are fine. Phones are great because they're small. And by the way, when you go through security check, I believe that you only have to show them your laptops. Tablets don't really count, just as a sidelight there too. So related to gadgets is that Israel does not use the same plugs that we do, the same outlet shapes. This is, if you want to just go to Walmart or Target or whatever you got, this is what they use. It is a small 2-prong, it converts from 220 to 110, and it's round, and it's the small ones. There's kind of a bigger version, and then the smaller one, and this fits, this is Europe and Israel, and so this is the one. It also has kind of a diamond shape on the edges, like kind of a pointy flared edge there. That helps to distinguish it from the other fatter prongs. So this is very important. Other gadgets. So when we get to our hotel, they have hair dryers. I don't know if they have curling irons, but your curling iron probably doesn't work in Israel anyway, so don't worry about your hair, first of all. They also have shampoo and soap. So I'm not taking shampoo. I'm not taking soap. Okay, I'm going to use the hotel just like I would be going if I went to anywhere else here in the United States. I will use their stuff. Okay. Also towels. They have towels. We are going to go to the Dead Sea even. You can take your hotel towel and use it and bring it back. So you don't need to bring a towel. See how you can make it. You can pack in these 2 bags alone. You can do it. So that's a little bit more. Random stuff here. Random stuff. So when I'm traveling too, I hate to spend money at the airports because the food is overpriced and, you know, like a $10 hamburger, I'm not all about that. So what I do when I travel along, like overseas with lots of breaks in between there, is I get myself 2 sandwich bags or a quart-sized bag, and I put in there the things that I like to snack on that will give me energy to make it through, that I can just sort of get through. So one of them is, by the way, granola bars. I'll put several of those in my bag to have handy. But also, so I'll put in there peanuts and raisins and M&Ms. That's pretty much it. And make kind of a trail mix. That's high energy, protein and sugars. So I'll have that along to snack on so I won't be hungry and won't be tempted to spend money at the airports. So as far as food goes, there is breakfast at the hotel. And then in the evenings they have a nice kind of a buffet type of thing. So those are taken care of. Those are included in the cost of the trip. But as far as lunch, we're almost always going to be out and about somewhere at a shrine or doing something out and about. So you'll need to take money to go along to buy your own lunch. And that'll be just from like vendors or little like food truck type of things, or people who have little stands of food, or small restaurants as we go. And that's the good stuff. That's where you get to try some really cool Israeli food, or if you see, we might find some safe American food too. So that's what you need to worry about with food once we're there. And if you have any snack needs, then just make sure you pack what you need. Now, so on to the related issue of money. So Yair assured us that people in Israel love US dollars, so there's no need to convert money before we go. Now they might give you change back. Say that something is 2 shekels, which is like about 50 cents, and you give them $1 bill, they'll give you 2 shekels back as change. So, I mean, you might end up with some Israeli money, but that's okay too. So as far as how much to take, I probably am going to take about $150 just for those lunch things. You know, that's just the lunch items, and if there's also like a little vendor, like kids running around with little souvenirs that only take cash, so that's what you need for it. I'm going to take small bills too, like 1s and 5s, so that I can get cash or change back from that. So that's the cash situation. For everything else, I'm going to take my credit card. So Israel, everywhere there's plastic. You can use credit cards for everything. So, but not Discover Card, MasterCard, Visa, and American Express. Those all work just fine everywhere you go. Now, it's important to call or I don't know how your credit card does it, but is to call and let them know that you're traveling. Otherwise, they will see activity on your account in Israel and they will stop it and cancel your card and you will be stuck. So make sure that you tell them before you leave that you're going to be traveling. And I believe, by the way, that even debit cards work just fine because, like, my debit card is actually a MasterCard, so it works too. That's totally fine. I would probably err on the side. I would probably use an actual credit card because they tend to have fraud insurance on there, so you're not liable if somebody does take your card and use it. So that's what I'm going to do. And I probably will take 2 of my credit cards just in case one gets lost or stolen or something weird happens, so that I'll have a backup. But otherwise, we have each other to kind of lean on. So that's the money situation that should be totally fine. Don't worry about stuff. So on my list here, we are going swimming or floating in the Dead Sea, so bring a swimming suit. Keep it simple, keep it modest, keep it, bring a few plastic shopping bags anyway to just keep stuff in so that they can, just dry out or keep them from getting stuff wet. Now, so we will be gone, and I told you about packing light on clothes. Like take, I have several of these shirts that I carry wherever we go when we travel, is that they are very lightweight. So they meet the dress codes. They're short sleeve, button up. They have stuff I can put, pocket that I can put stuff in there. It's cotton poly, so it doesn't wrinkle very bad. But this is also very lightweight, and I can really roll this sucker up. So I'll probably take, a few of those and wear them. Otherwise, some t-shirts and things like that too. But will we have access to laundry to do it? Probably not laundry proper, but you can wash things out in your hotel room. And you can even take a little tiny dab of laundry soap, as long as it's not more than 100 milliliters. But you can take that and wash things out like socks or underwear in your hotel, because that'll be just fine. These are four-star hotels, by the way, so these are pretty nice. It's not like we're going to be, staying in a trashy place. So, as far as other things to wear, it is a bright, sunny, dry climate. So take your sunglasses to go along with you. Very, very bright and sunny in some places, for sure. Now, as far as hair and hats go, here's the scoop. When we are out and about on our tours each day, we will all be wearing our matching red baseball caps that the tour company gives us. So, don't think about how you're going to do your hair each day, because it's going to be under a baseball cap that says AMI Travel Company with their stuff on there. And the reason why they do that is so that we all fit together, so that we can see each other, we can identify our group. So it's very important that you wear the cap, even if it's going to mess up your hair and smash your hair. Wear the cap every day. So that's just kind of the thing. The other thing we have is that each one of us gets a little Bluetooth activated listening device, so that while we're at a site, while we're at a shrine, Daniel, our tour guide, and I have a little microphone, and we can talk to you, and you can hear it without us having to yell or whistle or crowd in together. So that's a very cool thing to do. So otherwise, when we go, while we're out and about going on our tours, the secret is comfort. Just be comfortable. Wear what is comfortable to you, okay? So lightweight clothes. It's going to be warm there. It's not cold hardly ever there. So the other trick is shoes. I'm going to I'm going to take one pair of shoes with me. I went out and I actually bought, kind of just after Christmas time, with some Christmas money, I bought myself a nice pair of Brooks running shoes. They're good, they're sturdy. Brooks and I get along as far as size and everything. So comfortable pair of shoes. They're very, very comfortable, and they're sturdy, and but they're lightweight. It's not like they're whatever. They're a very good neutral pair of shoes. I would not wear something that's heavy, something that's not comfortable. Remember, we're not going to be seen, we're going to see. So it doesn't matter. And there's no time when we're going to need to dress up. So one pair of comfortable shoes is all you need, probably. You might think about flip-flops if you're going to go to the beach, or if you like to wear them around the hotel or whatever, but basically one pair of shoes is going to do it. And if you do, if something goes wrong in your shoes, whatever, we'll get you a new pair over there. Okay, it'll be a nice thing. So let's see, other things to take along. I like to have gum, because sometimes you don't get a chance to brush your teeth in the airports, so gum is nice. I don't have it on me right now, but I think it's nice to wear watches, to wear a watch. I have a travel watch that I have. It's a very simple Timex with an analog face. That way, when we fly from Omaha to Newark, I will set it ahead 1 hour, and then when we fly on over to Tel Aviv, I'll set it ahead 7 more hours, and that's it. It's very simple. I don't have to try to program it or whatever. So just very simple watch. That way, I also will be on time and know when we're supposed to leave and how long we have at our places, that kind of thing too. So I mentioned about trying to get everything as much as possible on apps. Bible, we do want to have a Bible with you. So you can either get the ESV offline Bible or the Christian Standard Bible offline Bible app. Those are two good offline Bible apps, so you don't have to use data to get to your Bible. Those are fine, either one of them. Another thing I would recommend, just in general, is called Daily Prayer. It's a little app from the Church of England, okay, and which is not necessarily our tradition, but it's a very neat little app. It gives you 3 prayer offices every day: morning prayer, kind of an evening, afternoon prayer, and then a nighttime prayer too, a Compline. So those, and it rotates every day. It has little Bible readings. It's an excellent prayer app. So it's called Daily Prayer from the Church of England, and I like that a lot. In fact, we might even try to use that. Okay, so keeping it simple, I'm just gonna, when we go, I'm just gonna take only a comb. Besides, I'm gonna have hat head all the time anyway. Okay. So let's see other things. So I will also develop a little pilgrim book, a day-to-day book for you that has kind of a morning prayer thing and some psalms in it that we will use. And you can either print that off and take it as paper, or you can just keep it on your phone as a PDF. That's kind of up to you. So let's see, are there other things that go along with this? I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say about this trip. Remember, simplicity. You can get it into just these small number of bags. We're not going to be seen, but to see and to have an experience. And so keep that in mind as you're planning and as you're trying to get everything packed up. Let's see, is there anything else in my bag that I need to show you, show and tell wise? I think that is everything I want to show you. Oh, I almost forgot about these things too. Last thing here. So you can't take water or bottles into the airport because it could be explosive or whatever. So it has to be 100 milliliters or smaller for everything. But you can take these things. You can take these things, these little canteen empty things. You can take them. I think I got this, actually I think I got this at the Dollar Tree for $1. But I've seen these on garage sales. Walmart has these kind of things. So you just go into the airport and fill up. A lot of times, and I think Omaha has one of these that it fills up, and then you can put it in there, and you have tap water, and you don't have to be spending money on all the bottled waters and leaving a trail of smashed water bottles from here to Kingdom Come. So anyway, I love these empty water bottle things that you can just fill up and take with you. So I think that is everything that I wanted to talk to you about today. So remember, on Tuesday, March 12th, we will gather at our gate in Omaha at the airport, and we will start from there on our journey. If you have questions, you can email me, you can text me, you can call me, and I will answer them. And there might be some things that we're not sure of, some questions that are sort of up in the air, or things that we don't know for sure. But that's most of everything. If you follow everything we've covered here tonight, we will really have a good time. So blessings on our trip.